us to this interview I was watching on Bloomberg with Mohamed El-Arian, and they were talking about Fed presidents and where they stand in the tapering discussion. We're not there yet. We're not going to taper. We're not even thinking about talking about tapering. These are Jerome Powell, Brain Dead, Williams, Evans, and Kashkari. Now, you're going to play this game because perhaps you want to be Fed chair and you want to keep your chances of becoming Fed chair alive by pleasing Wall Street. So naturally, we have Powell. And then we have Brain Dead, she's a woman, and a favorite contender to follow Jerome Powell. And then we have Kashkari, I guess he's Asian American, so he has a shot. What about Williams and Evans? Perhaps they're thinking about becoming trans, and that will give them a shot in becoming Fed chair. Then we have the camp that says perhaps we should announce this fall, talking about tapering, of course. We have Clarida, Daly, Boystick, Barkin, George, Rosengren, and it is a bit surprising here. Boystick and Daly should be in the camp that says we're not going to taper, we're not there yet. And Williams and Evans should be in this camp that we should announce tapering this fall. Williams, Evans, you got zero chance, of becoming the next Fed chair. Boystick and Daly have a shot. And what about the ones who say that we should be tapering now? We have Waller, Kaplan, Bullard, and Harker. And the only voting member out of all of these is Waller. So these people have no interest at all in becoming the next Fed chairman. And they also have no interest at all in becoming trans. But what really caught my attention is, in the middle of the interview with Mohamed El-Arian, they talked about a nuclear slip by a certain Fed president who I believe watches this channel and listening to what we've been saying all along, that the Fed's cocaine operation of propping up the stock market and real estate values by buying $120 billion every month in bonds and mortgage-backed securities have zero correlation with creating any job. And the only correlation that the cocaine operation has is with inflation and increasing asset prices. Let's see if you can catch what I'm talking about here.
Mohamed, something slipped under the radar for a lot of people this week. You were on top of it. It were the words of Boston Fed President Eric Rosengren. And I want to bring you the quote for our audience, and it read as follows. This was with the Associated Press. If you continue to purchase assets, the reaction primarily is in prices, not so much employment. I don't think asset purchases are having the desired impact on really promoting employment. Mohamed, this is really rare for someone on the Federal Reserve to question the value of QE.
And here it is, Rosengren pretty much negating the entire purpose of the Fed. What are you doing here, Mr. Rosengren? Would you like to sleep with the fishes? This is suicidal. This is pretty much him saying, yeah, we know. This charade, this facade of buying assets all over the place, $120 billion minimum every month, has nothing to do with creating jobs. The only thing we're achieving with this is higher inflation and creating asset bubbles in the equities and real estate markets. What happened to you here, Mr. Rosengren? You lost your mind. That's what happened. Gotta watch your back from this point on. And of course, the market did not care at all. This is a massive statement. The man is negating the entire purpose, the entire so-called mandate of the Federal Reserve. And the market did not even care. This is a coked up market, hooked up on drugs, a zombified market that will only wake up in a rude awakening.
That's different.
It is, and I tweeted it out because President Rosengren in particular is highly respected for saying it as it is. He comes from a research background, and he has a very direct communication style. And for him to say QE simply works on asset prices, doesn't work on the economy, is a big statement. But as you said, it flew totally under the radar. And it just shows you the conditioning of this market. This market is so deeply conditioned to believe two things: that the Fed is going to be our friend forever. I call it the BFF. And secondly, that there is no alternative, as you started out our interview, that we will brush aside as a marketplace until there's overwhelming evidence. And the question is, what does that overwhelming evidence look like and when does it come? And I don't know a single person who can answer that question confidently.
And of course, Mohamed asks, what would it take? What will happen? What will be the evidence for the market to finally realize that the party, the so-called game, is coming to an end? What will it take? I have the answer, Mohamed. The answer is When the overlords over at Wall Street, the 1%, they grab the phone, they call Powell and say, you know what? We've made billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars during this massive orgy, this massive bubble that you guys have created. Thank you so much. But now asset prices are too high. We've already cashed in. We'd like to leave the retail dummies holding the bag, crashing the stock market, real estate values, so we can buy them cheaper. So Mr. Powell, you have the go-ahead, the blessings of the 1%, the ruling class of this country, to start tapering and tightening the monetary policy. Then the Fed will not hesitate at all to start tapering and raising interest rates. And while we're at it, let's try and call Mr. Eric Rosenberg of the Boston Fed and see what he has to say about all of this.
You kids were right about us. You know how many jobs the Fed created in the last 10 years since we started pushing drugs into the market? Zero. Fucking zero.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And you were asking me why I'm talking about this right now. I'll tell you why. Well, I'm not black. I'm not Hispanic. I'm not a woman. I'm not gay. 100% sure about that one. So I got no chance in becoming Fed chairman. So I decided to retire and tell the truth.
So what are you going to do now, Mr. Rosengren?
Oh, I'm just going to open a weed store. Anyways, this is all I wanted to talk to you about today. I got to go wash my car. So you take care, okay?